Yo, what's going on? My name is Michael Lopez, and this is Boulevard Connect, the only website dedicated to cars, culture, and community. And today, guys, I got a double whammy. I got two people on the podcast today. I got all the way from the East Coast, Mario El Necio from El Chole des Madre. What's going on, Mario? How are you, man?
What's good, man? Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your platform. Hey, it's a big thank you because I haven't done a podcast in a while, so I'm getting used to it again.
Oh,
But
really?
thank you
Good,
for
good,
having
good.
me.
We're gonna have fun. And then also I got to give it up to Elvira, who actually hooked us up. She's here from the West Coast. Everybody knows who Elvira is from Chicano Elegance. So how are you, Elvira? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Can't wait to get this conversation going so that
And
people can find out what all this is even about.
I know, because obviously it's East Coast, West Coast. There is something that's coming up, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But man, Elvira hooked us up together, Mario. And when I'll be honest with you, when I think of East Coast, New Jersey, New York, all those places, I don't I don't think of lowriding, you know what I'm saying? I don't think of Chicanos. I think of Puerto Rican parades, that sort of thing. How is the lowriding Chicano movement on the East Coast? What's going on there?
Well, this Chicano movement, this low riding movement, it started a while back ago. Since I could remember back in when I was still in high school, I'm talking about probably in the late 99s.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I remember there used to be there's still a place called English Town, and in English Town they used to do a lot of racing, a lot of drag racing and all that. Well, in one summer, particularly the 2000, I was invited by some of my homeboys. They said, bro, like, you should come down to one of these events. And mind you, to me, I was more of a person who never thought that I was gonna ever see a lowrider on the
Uh-huh.
East Coast. Never in my wildest dream that I ever said, oh, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm never gonna see a lowrider. I'm never gonna see an experience of seeing a bomb, of seeing an Impala, like low lows like that until that summer of 2000, where
Really?
I actually went to English Town, and my eyes were just completely
Uh-huh.
open to the beauty of the work, the craftsmanship of all these cars that were being brought up. But the movement just started there. But then after that, like, I disconnected myself and did other things that I was doing involved until I could say maybe like 2 3 years ago, where I just started seeing like car clubs everywhere of lowriders that even, just like you, I was amazed. I'm like, damn, like, where did they come from?
Mm-hmm.
I was stunned. But then I started seeing all these clubs that just came out of nowhere and started doing all those lowriders videos in New York. And to me, I hardly didn't pay attention to anything that was going on until we started doing more investigation. And little did I know that these cars clubs have been in the East Coast for almost like 10 15 year plus.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
Like, when it comes down to over here to the East Coast, you got to know one thing, that in New York you have different boroughs,
Yeah.
and those boroughs have different car clubs that they're all hidden. It's like I told Evita the first time that I spoke to her. It's like a puzzle in which you got to start getting everybody together, because you have friends that are in Brooklyn, you have friends that are in Queens, you have friends that are in Staten Island, you have friends that are in Jersey, that they know more of the movement when it comes down to the lowrider than yourself,
Yeah.
because they do their own boogie downs, they do their own lowriding events. And me, as the podcast that I have now, that I had it for almost, you can say, 2 years and 6 months, it's opened a lot of doors for me, not just here in the East Coast, but with the lowrider community.
Uh-huh.
And one of them is Acapulco from Solo Homies on Car Club. He has introduced me to a lot of people that have lowriders. They're actually, their job is to build lowriders on the East Coast. And in this project, you can say that I give a lot of respect and a lot of kudos to Brooklyn John. Brooklyn John has been one of the pioneers when it comes down to filming These
Yeah.
lowrider.
I love his account. He puts it down for the community. I see a lot of great stuff on his account. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah, so he's the one that actually should get all the props because he's the one who actually brought out more of the lowrider scene in the East Coast. We're just like I was telling Elvira, we're just we're like a small little fraction of what's there in the East Coast because he has captured so much events that there's more out there that we even know.
Yeah, man, I'm here to find out about all of it because when I go to New York, I want to go to the East Coast. I want to check out a lot of these events because I seriously want to see the differences and the similarities that here in LA, here in California versus East Coast. So, I mean, I'm excited about that. One thing I noticed, of course, when I think of New York, or East Coast or Jersey, I don't think of Chicanos. I think of Puerto Ricanos and Cubanos. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
Yeah.
I was online this past week and I saw this event coming up for a couple months. I think, yeah, Brooklyn Films was promoting it for the Mexican Independence Weekend, and I was like, I wonder how that's gonna be. And then it came. I saw the videos. I was like, holy shit! I couldn't believe how many Latinos and Mexicans were at this parade. Were you there?
I was not part of it because I had my own Mexican independence event that I had that
Okay.
was part of that we hadn't done it in where I'm from in Pretambo. We didn't have a festival for nearly almost 15 years.
Okay.
So we actually, we actually did it. We prepared ourselves for that festival, but I could tell you that the one that I was in was last year's Mexican Independence. And
Okay.
when I tell you that that parade alone has been going on for almost maybe like 10 years, the outcome of Mexican people every year is more and more and more and more and more.
Okay.
And that's probably what people in the West Coast don't realize, that we're over here. But the problem is that we are not given the opportunity, or I could say, on the exposure that we have now through Brooklyn John, through myself, through other podcasters that are out there. They're actually, putting us Mexican Chicanos in the East Coast so they can see that, we're over here and there's Chicanos on this side too, but we don't have the same unity, the same connection, the same atmosphere that the ones in California or even Chicago.
Okay. But you're doing something about it, which is great. So it seems like bringing all the boroughs together is what your game plan is, correct?
Yeah, at this point, yes. At this point, yes, because again, everybody's spread out, everybody's doing their own thing. But I think that it's like the movie Blood In, Blood Out, Sangre por Sangre. A good prime example, Mi Vida Loca too. I would never in my wildest dreams that I ever thought or in my mind growing up watching this movie that I ever said, I'm never gonna meet one of those guys. I'm never gonna see one of these guys. Not in my wildest dreams.
Uh-huh.
20 years later, I'm Miklo's East Coast representative and Magic's media photographer.
Oh, hell yeah, that's amazing. And I know Miklo had some sort of event, like what, a month and a half, 2 months ago, something was going down. I saw an event he was at on the East Coast. Is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah, he was over here for the whole summer, the whole East Coast. He was here doing his thing, and I was with him back and forth.
Okay.
So, with that being said, I think that the Chicano community has now a chance to embrace what the Chicano community is. I'm not Chicano. I gotta tell everybody, I'm not Chicano. I was born in Mexico, but I was raised between California and New Jersey.
Okay.
The Chicanos on my side are my wife and my kids.
Okay.
Those are the Chicanos.
Yeah.
But I grew up with the culture. I grew up knowing the culture, and I mean, I grew up in the both being Mexican and being a Mexican American. So, I think that everybody could relate to what I'm saying. That when the Chicano community has not been exposed the right way, I think it's time that we, as podcasters that we put the Chicano community where it belongs, up here.
Yeah, there you go. And somebody who's doing just that right now, Elvira, who's actually on with us. I mean, she throws this beautiful event called the Chicano Gala, and she had it here this past year and the year before, and now, from what I understand, she's bringing it to the East Coast. Correct, Evita?
Yes, definitely doing that. And how that all happened is just the way that anything happens with me. Someone just has to tell me,
Ah,
hey, how about we do something? And that is, and you already know, and Mario knows. If you just tell me, let's do something, that's the worst thing you can say because I will call that bluff. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm right here.
let's do it. There you go. Sounds
And
fun.
yeah, but and again, Michael knows because I've ended up in what, San Jose and San Francisco with you, and then I
Yeah.
met Mario in New Jersey. I was like, "What's up? I'm right here in Jersey." He's like, "Holy shit!" So ain't no way you gotta say to me, "Let's do something," because that's the worst thing you can do.
I mean, when you think of East Coast, I'm thinking East Coast. I think fashion, I think art. All things related to Chicano elegance. The gala. I'm pretty excited about that. Is there a timeline here that we can think about? Because I want to be able to plan my tickets. I want to be able to buy my plane tickets and get my hotel. Where do I need to stay? How far?
I
Yeah,
can't
so
I
we're
can't say that because the one who gives the final verdict is Elvira. So let
Okay.
her tell you.
so we decided on June the 7th, and the reason for that is because the East Coast has extreme weather. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't get cold over there like it gets cold over here where we can just throw on a jacket and call it a day. Like no, it's a blizzard over there. So we had to be very specific. And then also their summers are nasty. I mean, you
Nasty.
don't want to be there in a nasty old sweaty summer. So it had to be something that it was sort of in the middle, and that's why June 7th should work out because it's not summer and it's already away from blizzard season. So we should be good on June the 7th. Also, the location is indoors. So, I mean, we'll be
Okay, there you
still
go.
okay. We were doing it more for the lowriders because obviously, if we want to have the lowriders there, can't have them in the blizzard, the rain, whatever. So it's more for that. But yeah, that's what we decided on, and everything is done intentionally. So even the location, we were thinking about a place in New York, and with that being said, God bless New York, but there isn't a lot of space to do much of anything. So you can't
No,
really put a lot
no.
of cars out. People can't really park. Like, and if they're gonna be all dressed up, I'm not putting these nice people in dressed up outfits running around Brooklyn and Bronx in the subway. Looking like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah,
let's
yeah.
just have them pull up. You know what I'm saying? So Jersey, which is not far, it's like about an hour away. I took like a bus. I don't even know what I took, but I got there real super fast. So that works, and it's a cultural center. So it all has cultura from the beginning to the end.
There you go. I'm excited, but June 7th, good. I'm gonna start looking online. I'm like Southwest, let's go. 2 bags for free. So
Yes, all the bags for free. And you know what's cool? What we want to do, and kind of like what he mentioned is, he said, "You listen, I'm not Chicano because there will forever be a whole listen, I'm honest. It's going to be a troll discussion that'll never die about who is this and who is that. And if they want to have their troll discussion till the end of days, I love that for them and God bless you. I have no interest in getting into the discussion of who can claim whatever. So let me just be real here. I am not even Mexican. Let me make that clear. I am Peruvian. All my family was born there. So was I. However, with that being said, just like Mario, all I was influenced by, all my friends, my entire life was surrounded by Chicanos. It wasn't surrounded by white people, wasn't surrounded by African Americans, Asians. It was all, and it wasn't even just like Mexicans, it was Chicanos. My friend, my best friend, she didn't even speak Spanish. So how did we even talk? I still don't know to this day. She was a fifth generation Mexican. So, and she's still my best friend to this day, 30 something years, and we're still going strong. But it started with her talking to me in English, and I'm just staring at her like, huh? So that's what I grew up with. And so for me, this will forever be not me trying to what is it pretend that I am something I'm not. It's not me trying to take over anything. It's just me celebrating the culture that I grew up with that influenced my style, my music, my food, my talk, my attitude. That's all this is. It's just a celebration of that. And
well
yeah,
said.
I mean, people do events that celebrate things like anime, things like all these things, and if they can do that, I can do something that's positive to influence the Chicano
And you know
culture. So
what?
thank you again, Mario.
Yeah, and when I
Yeah.
hear something like that, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like, look, there's positive people doing positive things for the community. Come on, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. You know.
Well, look, over here it is. To me, it is a big deal.
Okay.
Why? Because as I had told Elvira the time that I met her, nobody has done something like this. Nobody has done what we're trying to do and get the Chicano community together. Because over here in the East Coast, like I had said, the East Coast is very different from California.
Yeah.
One thing that I could tell you is that I don't have the support from many Mexicans here where I'm at. My support is from you guys in California.
Okay. Well, we're about to change that.
Exactly. So, I think, again, the Chicano community has not been portrayed the right way. And with that being said, I think it's time that we have lived it, we know it, we felt it, and we've seen it.
Yeah.
It's time that the Chicano community gets back up to where it has to be and show these gabachos that we have more culture, we have more food, we need more respect, and not to use the images that they portray to monetize off of that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% well said. Well said.
I see this as a dream come true to me, because it's never been done. And pride example, when I put up the Chicano Gala flyer, the one that says coming soon, that was like a ripple effect that it started with one thing and we were getting bombarded left to right. Yo, what's that? What's it gonna happen? Like, you don't have no clue of what this means to a lot of people.
And what's coming. It's gonna be good. I hope it does make a difference. Maybe this will be the beginning of all the boroughs coming together and uniting for the cultura. So I think that'll be really good. I'm looking forward to this event very much. So like I said, I'm booking my tickets. So
well, every time I talk about it, I get like goosebumps just by talking about it.
Yeah, I'm excited about this very much.
And little by little, we're going to be releasing all the stuff that we have confirmed because we can't do it just yet.
Yeah, of course. Little teasers.
Little teasers like this is who's showing up. This is who's going to be rocking the mic. This is going to be doing blah, blah, X, Y, and Z and whatever. And I am taking a group of people out here from the West Coast because I told them all about my East Coast adventure. And I said, y'all got to get out there. And they're like, well, then let's go. So I already have like a little group that we're going to need a damn mansion because where are we going to fit in an Airbnb? We're going to need a whole mansion for all of us.
Can I go with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. We need a mansion. We're not going to fit in no Airbnb.
Hey, Elvira, you got to make sure you take him to Heco to go to Las Tortas.
Oh, him and the tortas. Okay, well, that's a podcast all in itself with those big ass tortas. But yeah, so I mean, it's cool. You can't just. I always tell people this. Our problem as a community is that we get comfortable and we don't leave our little comfort zone.
Yeah,
like if you're from Pomona, you party in Pomona, you eat in Pomona, you get married in Pomona, you get buried in Pomona.
You don't go past the 57.
Right. Which again, God bless Pomona, but you gotta really see the world out there. There's a huge ass world. Check out go to Arizona, go to Vegas, go somewhere. And for me, I'm like, let's see if these little MFers are down to go all the way across the damn country. Forget Utah or Albuquerque. No, I'm gonna push y'all all the way. And they were down. I told them, you will not regret this, and it will open your brain to wanna now I want to go further. Where can we go now? Because once you got to get out of your little comfort fishbowl, everybody already knows you. They're not going to get to meet you every weekend. They already know you. Have other people discover you. You got to go out there. So it's going to be good for all of us. And the theme of it is going to be called Raza Unida because we're bringing everybody together. It's a unity thing. It's not a crazy, it's not some crazy thing that's going to
exclusivity. Yeah, it's not.
No, it brings everybody together. And there's somebody out here who is a representative, or actually think she's the co-chair of the actual Raza Unida, delegation. And I told her all about this, and her response to me was like, "I'm co-signing that." So there you go.
Nice.
They're not mad at it. They're not, because that's another thing that we have that I want to break is our crab mentality. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, I use the brown shirt. You can't use the brown shirt. Like, bro, you did not invent the brown shirt.
Yeah.
So if somebody's doing something rather than competing, why don't we see how we can work together and it's all good. Raza Unida is just the theme of this show. Once the show is over, we're not gonna bring that back again. That's all it is. We're not creating a LLC with that name, okay, guys? So if the co-founder of this Raza Unida movement says it's good with her, then shoot, everybody else is gonna have to love it
I
too.
always tell people, I was like, don't use I, don't use me. Let's start using we. You know, we got to do that.
That's the thing that we here in the East Coast, we don't see none of that.
Yeah,
We don't see that culture, and it's a shame because it's a lot of us. While you guys grew up listening to Little Rob, MC Magic, Frost, Sick Jackin, Cypress Hill, bro. I was listening to Cumbia Sonideras. So when I tell you this, that the culture over here, somehow, some way, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. Just that we managed to, how can I say this? Bring it to a whole new level now where a lot of us speak the language, know the culture, but are afraid to go out there like you guys said it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of DJs, there's a lot of sonidos, there's a lot of grupos, cumbia groups that are telling me, so what's the Chicano Gala thing?
Nice.
So
and I'm like, you better tell them to come because we love some sonideras, bro. So you better tell them.
When I tell you that
everything.
Exactly. So when I tell you that this is like impacting everybody and it's freaking out a lot of people in the head, people are freaking out just by me even telling them about the Chicano Gala. But again, we, Elvira and I have to just, finalize everything because we are the head people of this, but we have a great team behind us that, that I've, put together in the tri-state area that we have that this is gonna piss a lot of people off, but at the same time, it's gonna open a lot of eyes.
Good.
A lot of eyes.
Good.
And my final disclaimer is this, and he knows because we had a little Zoom meeting with the New York or East Coast team because a lot of them are from different parts. And I said, first and foremost, I want to tell y'all that I'm Peruvian. Is there any issue with a Peruvian being one of the people putting this thing together? Let me know here and now or forever hold your peace kind of deal. And they were like, we don't give a shit. Great, let's move on. So if they don't care,
you remind me of Lucy Liu and Kill Bill when she goes, "Does anybody have a fucking problem with this?"
Yes, don't make me chop off your head. Don't make me do it.
She walked.
Yeah, because look, this is exactly what I was talking about because I would not know who Elvira is because of us, because of him.
Okay.
He was the one who connected me with her, and he's like, "Yo, look, I like what you're doing, but I think that your podcast could go even farther." So once her and I started talking because of him, and I blame him because of this, because he has an artist over here in the East Coast, which is Mr. Capo.
Oh yeah.
And I met Mr. Capo a couple times. I linked up. He was my first guest here in the podcast. He was the one who actually was the one who opened the doors for many others. Big shout out to him. But when it came down to doing big things, that's where I met Elvira. And Elvira, what she did at the Chicano Gala over there in California was one thing that opened up my eyes. And again, I don't have the same support that I have with the people in California. But because I'm bilingual, maybe because everybody thinks I am Chicano, but again, I'm not Chicano. I'm 100% born in Mexico, but raised over here. Maybe that's the reason why I don't have the same, I could say culture.
Well, you know here. What? I don't even think you have to think about that anymore because things are about to change. It's about to change. It's about to change. So, it's time to just put the blinders on and be like, move forward. That's it. That's all it is because things are about to change. You guys are about to bring a lot of people together. I think people are going to, after this event, people are going to be very, very excited. And you're going to probably do a lot more things after this. So I'm really excited. Speaking of events that's coming up, anything cool coming up in the Lowrider scene, in the Chicano movement scene, or in the Mexican scene in the East Coast? What's going on? Give you any
few. Brooklyn John has an event in New York. I think Brooklyn, if I'm mistaken. I might be mistaken, but Brooklyn John is doing like a small take on Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead.
Nice.
So in New York, there's gonna be a lot of events because I was just hit up with two, his, and then there's a festival, Dia de los Muertos, which is gonna be held in Yonkers, New York.
Okay. I've been
There's
to
gonna be
Yonkers.
one in Brooklyn, and there's gonna be one in Yonkers, and then just right now, what's up? They threw the other one that's gonna be in Newark, New Jersey. The Catrinas and Catrines festival.
Okay. You know, it's funny
So
because
there's a
Mario,
lot of it.
over here in
so Mario,
LA,
you're gonna
like if you check Boulevard Connect, the app or the website, and you go to like the middle of October, the end of October, I think there's like 20 trunk or treat events in one
ooh,
day. Saturday and Sunday, there's like 20, there's like 15, there's like 10 over here in San Francisco, San Jose, there's 19 over here in one day in LA. I mean, it's just packed. So tell those people in Yonkers, in New Jersey, put their event on Boulevard Connect so they can
and
get
start
more
tagging
people
them,
on it.
Mario.
Yeah,
Start
start
tagging
tagging
these
them. This is where
start
they need
tagging
to
these
be.
folks on the page. Because if you guys want to build that unity,
There it is.
sadly, it's like, oh, I didn't see you on Instagram. And it's true. We just scroll sometimes at random times for 1 minute, for whatever. We're not going to see your stuff because you're like, well, I posted it. Well, sweetie, I'm sure you did, but I still didn't see it. So, yeah, post
I'm
it.
just getting hit left. I'm getting hit left to right now. They're like, "Yo,
Tell
put up
them.
our stuff." I'm like,
Tell them
Yeah,
to
no,
post it
tell
on Boulevard
everybody.
Connect. Yeah,
Tell
tell them to post
everybody
it
that
on.
the first step to get everybody connected to support each other's events and to even know who the hell is doing something, go to the Boulevard Connect, because just thinking that you
yeah.
posted on Instagram, a bunch of people will miss it and then you're gonna get mad and blah blah blah. Like, cut the crap. Just go to Boulevard Connect, start posting all of the East Coast events from like Philly, Jersey, New York, all the boroughs. Blow it
And
up.
that's how people are going to start finding out about each other. It's not just their audience on their Instagram where they're 100 or 100,000 followers. Now you're talking to everybody around the country. So good.
Yeah.
I have a silly question to ask. When does low riding season start and stop cruising? Because, you know, East Coast weather, I'm thinking it's snowing. You can't really hop on the ice. When do people start pulling out their cars?
I've seen at the beginning of April, but you could quote me wrong. If Acapulco would have been here right now from Solo Homies, he'll tell you to do that all year long.
Oh, he
Which
just
He's
got
crazy.
he got chains
I
on the
do believe
tires
it.
or what?
I do believe it because they do their own events indoors.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Indoors.
it's
So
sad that you
New
couldn't.
York
It's
is
sad that you
big.
couldn't meet Acapulco because he's. I love him, but he is crazy. I'm like, sir, you are crazy. He is down for whatever.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to meeting him. So, Mario, Elvira, thank you guys so much for coming on board. Really, really happy that you guys came here. I'm glad to hear about what's going on the East Coast, New Jersey, New York, Yonkers. A lot of great events. Tell those people to put it on Boulevard Connect so everybody can find out about it. Because honestly, like if I'm going to another town, like I'm going to Vegas this weekend for the Lowrider show, the big Lowrider show. But I want to know about what else is going on. So people are posting, people in LA, I mean, in Vegas are posting their events. So now I'll be able to see, all right, besides the show, what's going on after, what's going on Sunday, what's going on Friday night. So now I'm going to have access to that information. And that's what this website and app is all about. So take advantage, guys. Take advantage. Chicano Gala is coming to the East Coast, guys. I'm excited.
Oh,
June 7th.
yes, and I've got one more thing to say about Boulevard Connect. And Mario, let your peoples know it's not just about events because, like, your wife has her side hustle that she does. She can post that on Boulevard Connect. If Acapulco has the baddest ride, and he's like, listen, if you have a quinceañera, a wedding, I don't know what, he can post it on Boulevard Connect and say, I'm renting out my car for your next quince or whatever. Your wife can say, I'm doing services for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Photographers, modelos, la chingada, everybody can go to Boulevard Connect and not just post about events, but post about services that they offer. And
Absolutely.
this is how you build a community, because I didn't meet everybody and their mama because we all went to high school. I met them because I was going to all the events, and that's how you meet one. It snowballs into the other. So for y'all to build this community, y'all got to start finding out who's throwing what and who's doing what.
That's how I met Evita. That's how I met her. So Guys, thank you so much for that. Pleasure having you guys on. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Mario, in person when I see you on the East Coast. And
for sure, man. Just let me know when you're gonna be over here, and I'll pick you up. I'll make sure I take you around to the spots.
hell yeah, saving me an Uber car. Sorry, any shout outs, last minute shout out, guys.
Well, first of all, I want to shout out all these people, all my homeboys, everybody from California that is giving me the apoyo that I have from day one. Everybody over there, Chicano Pride, Vos, Elvira, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Hopefully that we're gonna see each other pretty soon. Shout out to Damian Chapa, aka Micro from Sangre por Sangre. Magic, Victor Rivers for actually working with him this summer. Las muchachas de Mi Vida Loca, Vero and Baby Doll. Girls, we're gonna see you pretty soon. Rita, take it away.
Okay, so my shout out is obviously to everybody out here at home. Y'all already know who you are. There's too many of you to name. And also on the East Coast, shout out to Mario because I be getting on this poor guy's nerves, and it's okay because we already know how it's gonna be, and I'm gonna keep getting on his nerves until we finish this whole project. And then same thing with the team over there in Jersey, New York. Yeah, I'm a very tough boss. I'm not gonna lie, but if you want something done right, we gotta crack that whip. If you've ever seen NFL, if you see an NFL coach, he's not hugging them and kissing them and telling them how wonderful they are. He's cussing them out and yelling at them. But guess what? When they make the touchdowns and they win, after that, it's all love. So I will hug the hell out of y'all when we win, and that's how you gotta.
There you go. Well said, guys. Thank you guys so much. My name is Mike Lopez. This is Boulevard Connect, your only website dedicated to cars, culture, and community. Thank you guys so much for being here.